Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tessa Bags, right from Cameroon. I'm happy to be here again for this other edition of Discovering Namibia. Well, today we are talking about agriculture, and I think it's something we really needed to talk about. And I would like to take a statement before I start. There can be no future prosperity for the African people in the short, medium, or long term if we continue to maintain economic structures that are dependent on the production and export of raw materials. It is from the President of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo. I think we are already understanding that Africans today, we need to take responsibility. We cannot be awaiting from others and thinking that we are going to grow. And I'm happy today because we understood that as Africans, we have to come together. And if we are talking about making intra-market to grow, it is automatic that we have to go to people who have been struggling and making everything possible to make it happen. I will talk about an experience with Cameroon where we do a lot of agriculture. We have women who wake up in the morning and go to the market. They have a lot of goods. But finally, we discover that even to sell out is a problem because we don't have roads. But when you get to a country like Namibia, you discover that with the weather, there are people willing to make a lot of agriculture, but they are not able to do it as long as they want. So today, we are talking about breaking the barriers. It means that we have to share experience and try to understand from those who are already doing their best for things to happen. I will turn to our ambassador, Mutelo, the mic. I have been watching her and seeing all the efforts she has been doing, but I would like to know what pushes you to continue doing in the domain of agriculture.
Thank you very much, Tessa. I was encouraged by, we have a Namibian policy of growth at home strategy. This is the one which encouraged me to take up farming after my retirement from diplomatic service. And I found that farming is very therapeutic and is very addictive. So once you start farming, you'll go on. You won't stop. That's why I took up farming in order to produce food to feed my country. Because as you know, here in Namibia, most of our food comes from South Africa. We are very few, we are a small population, but we cannot feed ourselves. So I took it upon myself to follow the government strategy of growth at home, to grow food so that we could feed Namibia. We started small, but we are growing, and I hope that one day I'll also be a fully blown commercial farmer who can also even export to not only to Namibia, but to Southern Africa, but to the whole of Africa. So I'm really looking forward to farming and to feeding my country and the continent.
We are going to get again to Mr. Akatingo Kapuka, who is the co-founder of Fanu Group in Namibia. We are seeing a young, dynamic personality seated there. We know that most of the youths of today in Africa, they dream of traveling. They dream of going abroad and having a life like what we see on Hollywood and all the like. Why did you continue to invest in that sector?
Thank you, Ms. Tessa Banks, for a very depth question, actually. This story have actually an origin of me just trying to formalize what I had grown up into, which is a farming family. And I just wanted to add the business aspect to it so that you can start farming as a business, feed ourselves and feed our immediate community. We also have plans to grow into a reputable international organization that can feed other parts of Africa.
So tell us, are there difficulties implementing what you have as idea?
Yes, sure. A lot of obstacles actually that are faced with, especially young farmers, is we don't have the necessary collateral that institutions like banks require from us so that you can get credit to grow our businesses. So another one is access to market. In fact, there are some that I've been able to overcome for Fano Group specifically. And I also saw a business opportunity in some of the challenges. When I cracked them, I saw a niche that I can actually do for other people. Because previously, we used to just want to sell vegetables to people. But we actually pivoted now to also helping people to set up their own projects and also mentor them on how to grow successfully and as well as marketing. So that's the niche that I cracked for Fano Group. And I'm actually now extending it to other people so they can do it.
It's a great one, knowing that we are together and that we can discover more about you. We are going to turn to somebody who is representing what we are having as panel today. She's young, and she's a woman, and she's doing agriculture. It's Miss Grace Nakalondo, founder of Afrikultures Products. Can you tell us how you got into the industry and founded a brand?
Good evening, everybody. My voice is a bit sour. Food Products was founded during COVID-19, and it was primarily during COVID, as we all know, the food, there was panic on where are we going to get food. So I was looking for traditional food product. I'm based at the coast, and I managed to get some, and then I started selling it. So initially, it was just normally packed, as you would find it at the traditional market. But then we found that so many people would like it, and because we want to present it to a lot of people in a way that is appealing to everybody, to all classes, we then package it like this. So it was just initially a hobby, and then until we finally formalize it, and now we have over 15 range of products. So we are driving the idea of food sustainability, and that means that you should eat what you grow. Some of the products that we have, we grow them from our own backyard. So we actually want people to actually value our natural products. Like, you should not look at Ombidi, for instance, or Mopani worms and feel like, no, I'm in town, I cannot eat these things, because they are actually more nutritional. So it's about food security and ensuring that people get the maximum nutrition that they can from the food.
Thank you very much. You know, Cameroon, where I come from, we talk English and French. So I'll take a bit of time to say merci à vous d'être là aujourd'hui. On est vraiment content de partager avec vous. Et ce panel, je vous jure, il est enrichissant. If you understood, it's good. But if not, I'll translate after. So I'm going to get to our ambassador. I would like to know, you're talking about a beyond organic natural farm. Is everything that we do in agriculture not normally organic? What is the difference with what you're doing? The mic.
Thank you very much, Tessa. As you know, commercial agriculture involves a lot of fertilizers and other insecticides. But in our case, we try to make everything natural. We want to grow everything the traditional way. We make compost so that our products are not affected by the commercial fertilizer that you get in shops and the insecticides that you use to get rid of those things. That is why we call it organic farming, because it's based on traditional methods of growing the fresh produce.
Okay, I'll get to Fano Group and ask, what do we discover when we get into Fano Group? What are the products that we can have available?
Right now, we produce almost a variety of vegetables that you can consume on a daily basis, like spinach, pumpkins, butternuts, sweet potatoes. You can mention all the rooty and leaf vegetables. And we actually have a group of farmers that we are working with now. And that's why we took up a space, which was actually a void in the market value, to say, let's build people that we can rely on so that we can satisfy our clientele. Because when I was producing from one land, which is our farm, I had actually a higher demand for people asking for our vegetables. So that's why we decided to pivot to now mentoring farmers from scratch, set up their gardens, we teach them how to produce their vegetables, and then we take it to the market. Right now, we are busy with negotiations with our partners so that we can set up a farmers online market. It's more like a physical farmers market where people are displaying the way you see in the standing there. But our niche, we are trying to front as we are going to give you only freshly produced vegetables without being frozen. That's why we're working with a lot of farmers to cater for this demand. And we want to do it online so that you just order it and then we deliver it to you. In the midst of our plans, we're trying to acquire electric vehicles that you can use. At least maybe one electric vehicle can cater for 3 regions. And the reason why we want to opt for electric vehicles because we are environment conscious. We want something that is eco-friendly and also sustainable in the long run, because a lot of vehicles now are operating on fuel, and you see how the price of fuel is going up. It's unsustainable. So we're busy with negotiation of bringing vegetables to you in that form. And there is an untapped market out there, according to our research when it got incubated by Stellenbosch Launch Lab in 2021. So we are ready to go to market with this. So that's what you can expect from Fano Group in the few coming months.
Very interesting. I'm going to get back to Grace Nakalondo. I see that you're young and that you decided to invest in a sector which is actually a bit complicated for us African. But tell us, do you believe that it can actually help to unlock the intra-Africa trade and give out opportunities to young Africans?
Yes, we are able, and I think it first starts with us trusting the young people and also capacity building, which is one of the things that a lot of people are talking about opportunities, but do the young people actually know about these opportunities? How are we going to unlock these opportunities? And that is where policymakers come in terms of engaging counselors, for instance, and having open discussions with the young people. Because sometimes the facilities are there, but the people don't know about it. So if you read on a pamphlet of a certain company, they'll tell you, oh, they do this, they do this, they do this. But if you go to the young women in the market, for instance, do they know about it? So we start by educating the people that require the knowledge. And then after that, we do capacity building. For instance, Dino is talking about online advertising. The farmers should then be equipped on digital marketing. They should be able to access, because most of the farmers, they are too busy to be online. But then these produce are going to be sold online. So it starts with us educating the people. How there is a platform like this, how do you access it? And also, talking about online, we are also talking about data. Yeah. So we also look at how do we make people to access this without them having to spend so much on data. Because at the end of the day, all policies and all activities, they should be sustainable. Because we can launch something that is very exciting, or we can launch a product that is very exciting. But if the right people are not reached, or if there isn't a fund for people to access, for instance, here in Swakopmund, the Ministry of Agriculture is in Utuseb, which is very far. Now, you have somebody in DRC that wants to set up a garden. Yeah. But they don't have the funds already, that's why they want that. But then the offices are far. So we need to make services available to the people who needs them.
Thank you. I would like to get back to our ambassador, and we talked about technology, we talked about data, but I suppose that there has been a long contact with agriculture that pushed you at your retirement to get into that world. But tell us, do you think that opportunities are really available in the sector of agriculture today?
Thank you very much once more, Tessa. The opportunities are available, but the problem we have is a market for our agricultural products. Like now at Zambezi Green, we are producing tomatoes, green pepper, cabbages, watermelons, butternuts, and also some green maize. But we are failing to get a market for all the produce, especially the tomatoes and green pepper and cabbage. So although there's a lot of interest out there for us to be farmers, what we are facing is the lack of market is rather discouraging. But nevertheless, because of our love for Namibia and our passion for farming, we will continue so that one day we will also be able to emerge as full commercial farmers, and also to encourage young people to also come into agriculture. Because at the moment, most of the young people, when they go to university, they just want to have white-collar jobs. But I think I want to encourage young people to also venture into agriculture, because agriculture is the future. As you know, we all eat every day, so you cannot go wrong if you go into agriculture. Despite the challenges about the market, they can also be overcome if we just work together with government and see a way forward. I'm very interested in what Fano Group said about the digitalization of farmers, emerging farmers, so that we can have a platform where all farmers meet, we share our experiences and problems, and see how we can move forward. So I'm really interested. I'm going to talk to the young men about the way forward.
Very interesting. We are here for the intra-trade, breaking up the barriers and making things to happen. I've been seeing Mr. Kapuka really shaking the head as Ambassador has been talking. Can we have an idea of what has been going through your mind while she was talking?
You know, it's quite interesting because I'm a farmer myself, so I think we are up to something here, because I solved my problems. And then immediately I realized that I'm not the only one. It cannot be just me with this kind of problems. Market access is validated. It's not there, non-existent for up-and-coming farmers. Even if I manage to put some of our vegetables in some of the established retailers, that's just me who have the energy to go far. And I had quite an amazing team that I can trust to take care of the land in my absence while I push the markets. But it's not uniform to every farmer. So what I was thinking is exactly what my colleague here was saying. There's a consensus that we need to work together so that we can make our produce more visible to the end consumer. And obviously, we can put hands together. That's what I was thinking right now when she's agreeing that we need to talk, because there are areas where we are lacking to put this idea to realization. So I'm happy I'm at the right place. Actually, there's something that I didn't share with the panel or the public. I also sit here today in the capacity of a trade finance executive for Euro-Exim. And earlier, there was a panel earlier here which was talking about import and export business. So the Euro-Exim Bank actually have certain instruments for entrepreneurs. Some are non-fund based, some are fund based. You know, when you buy things from outside the country, you sometimes need a bank guarantee or proof of income so that you can pull off a deal. So we offer standby letters of credit, the MT 760s with a Euro-Exim Bank. And I'm responsible now to scout for people that have intention, especially in the mining sector, fishing industry, as well as construction. If they want to buy staff that are coming from outside Namibia and they don't have the necessary funding. The Euro Exim Bank will fill that void, and we just have to know, we have to do a due diligence on them to make sure at least the money they are requesting is not to fund some terrorist activities or something like that. So we are entering a new era, which I see most Namibian banks are still not privy of this obstacle. But to just add to what I picked up from the other panel, sometimes you have a great solution, but then you are in the wrong place and you don't have customers, for example, to lock yourself into Namibian boundaries. So it's always advisable to look outwards, because there can be somebody in Botswana or in Kenya who is ready to use your services. Like this online farmers market is something that I've seen is being practiced even in America. I was part of the lucky people that got offered the Mandela Washington Fellowship for last year for young African leaders, which Mr. Henrik and Mr. Percy are also alumni of. And when I went there, I went with this idea already. And that's where I came back with a pivot to say, maybe we should teach our people how to consume what we are offering them. And that is exactly what my colleague here was saying. We have to educate people, but what is most important is to start. Once you start, that's when you can identify to say, no, but people in Swakopmund are actually ready for this, but maybe people in rural areas are not. So you service the people in rural areas with the ways that they're used to getting service to, but then when you come to towns, urban areas like here or in Commerce, you just let them order this stuff online, and then you make sure you deliver. We just have to reduce the turnaround delivery time. And that's why I mentioned earlier that we need to acquire EVs, which we can then integrate into our systems and make sure customers are satisfied and they're going to get only the freshest straight from the land.
Thank you. Mrs. Grace, I would like to know, can we say that the future is bright for Afrikultures Products? How are you going to break the frontiers to impose your products?
Yes, I believe I'm very optimistic. I believe the future is bright. Currently, I just joined the NIDPB. I'm here under their umbrella, and I also believe that with their mentorship, I'll be able to go very far. I also believe that you need to start somewhere, but you need to have a goal of where you want to be. And so when I started these products, they didn't look like this. They were in small plastic bags. They were tied. And then I realized that if I really want to do, if I want to see my shop, my products in a shop, they need to look like they are already in a shop. So if I put this next to all the other spices, nobody should see a difference, that this is actually made from home. So yes, I believe the future is bright. I also attend a lot of stakeholder engagement in terms of the African Continental Free Trade. And so I believe I would leverage some of that information to be able to take me further. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Grace. We hope that the future will really be what we are describing today. I'll get to Ambassador for a last word. Today you're investing in agriculture. You believe that there's a future. But what is the message to those youths who are listening and saying it's just a dream, nothing good can come out of it?
So much can come out of it, Tessa. As I said before, all of us eat every day. Agriculture, farming is the future. So we have to be serious with it. Let's start with our future generation. Let them be serious. Let them take up farming and agriculture so that we can have food security for the future of Namibia, Southern Africa, and Africa. It's very important that we see agriculture as one of the important sectors in society. Thank you, Tess.
Thank you to you. We are going to conclude with Mr. Kapuka. I would like to know, how do you see the future with agriculture and all the resources that you're capable to give to the youths out there?
Maybe I should start with what we believe in at Fano Group. We believe in harnessing dynamic and robust partnership with youth entrepreneurs. We are firm believers that when the foundation is built right, we can be a business for a very long time, because a foundation is what carries you through the future. And according to the moves that we've been making lately, we have laid the foundation so much that it should be easy for us to create a safe space for deeper conversation that can enable collaboration. We have laid the foundation, so I just want to leave the audience with a few words from the Bible. John, chapter 7, verse 4. No one who wants to become a public figure acts in secret. Since you are doing these things, show yourself to the world. And that is basically the reason why I come from Ruakana all the way to Swakopmund just to honor this invite, is because so much that we get preoccupied with, we don't realize that it's an investment into the future. Me being here today, I don't know how many customers I'm going to walk away with from this event, but for sure, I know it's the right thing and it's the right place to be today. I don't feel like I've wasted my time and energy coming to an event of this magnitude. So that's all I wanted to leave the audience with.
You can give them a hand of applause, because I think we had answers to our questions. I think we are at the end. I'm Tessa Bags from Cameroon, and I will tell you that the future is bright as long as we think about breaking the barriers, because us in Central Africa, we have so much to give to you here, and we know that you out there will also need something to give to us. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We hope to see you for the next panel. Take care.